So we're not dead yet, but I need to figure out what our plan for him is going to be.
Sounds good.
What happened with the one that you had that we were just working on that went away, came back, got the co-signer? What ended up happening?
Today in the mess. We're
Still in the middle of man, I'll tell you what, it can be a challenge these days, you know.
Oh shit! Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch me.
Well, we're going to find out kind of what the situation is and try and see if we can get them a plan for success.
For sure.
All right. Mr. Van, are we live? What are we doing here?
We're way live.
Way live. Yeah, been live. All right. Well, I got to get a little bit better on that. I'm going to try today to see. Oh, hello, Josh. How are you, sir?
Very well.
All right. Okay, so good morning, everyone. It is the morning grind, and we are here on a Tuesday, and we're going to get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and find out what we're thankful for this morning. Mr. Josh Harrell, give us a start. Let us know what you're thankful for this morning.
With all the shit going around, the bad things going around, I'm still thankful that I have some good things going on.
All right, what are those?
I got
And for those of you out there that don't know what Josh is talking about, basically in our business right now, in mortgage and real estate, there are just any number of challenges to help people get across the finish line. So not only do you have higher interest rates that have caused it to be more expensive for people to buy houses, but the qualifying and all those things are getting a little bit more difficult as these market fluctuations are happening. So that's what Josh is talking about is
bad things happen. That's what happens.
yeah. Okay, so what are the good things that you've got to balance that out?
Yesterday we got some good news on a lot that I'm trying to sell for a family member. So
Gotcha.
as long as we get just one more approval from the city on something, we'll be good to go.
Gotcha. So is it that you're getting land sold that they're going to build on? Somebody's going to build on?
Yeah, subdivided and build on. So.
All right. Learned a lot going through that process, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah. That's the stuff that you can't really learn till you just go through it.
No kidding.
What a gift from your family member. They gave you a chance to they trusted you to do that.
Definitely. I'm very, very thankful for that.
Okay. Very good. What are you thankful for this morning?
I'm thankful for the lady that honked her horn at me this morning, because if she didn't, I would have backed into her.
Oh, really?
There you go.
That is a big gift
Yeah.
from a complete stranger. Throw a gift out on you.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even look back.
So you were just easing back.
Well, I was easing back out of my parking spot, and I realized I didn't have my belt on, and I was like, because I just looked down because I felt it, and so I looked down and I kept backing up. Then I heard the car, so I stopped. I was like, my bad, I forgot my belt, and I ran in and got it.
Oh man, that is a big one.
Yeah,
That would have been
that sucked.
that would have been a lot worse. All right, what are you thankful for this morning?
Thankful for waking up and being here this morning.
Yeah, being on. My mother used to say, on the any day above ground is a good day. Okay, so I am thankful this morning for a ton of things. We have such, even though with all the challenges and struggles that we have helping our people these days, there's still no doubt about it that it's a wonderful career to be involved in. Real estate and real estate finance. We help people with their housing needs. It's just a basic need that we have. And so it's always a pleasure to be able to help people with that. But I am also one of these people that loves springtime. So to me, springtime, especially springtime in Tennessee, is just one of the most magical times. And so we've gotten to the first day of spring. Didn't seem like it. Didn't feel like it, did it? It felt like more like the first day of winter. So, yeah.
Freezing ass out.
Yeah. So that got me thinking a little bit about rebirth and renewal. Those are some of the things that I love about spring, and I think that rebirth and renewal, in the Christian faith, that's always a big time. Easter and the Lenten season, and that always has to do and symbolize rebirth and renewal. And so it got me thinking about how we are able to experience rebirth and renewal all of the time. And that's part of my present moment practice, which allows you the opportunity to not stay stuck. If you find yourself in a spot where something doesn't go right, or you have something that doesn't quite work the way you thought it would, it allows you to go ahead and transition your thinking into a better spot. And so a lot of that has to do with your attitude and what you think is possible. And the springtime, rebirth, renewal, all those things have me thinking about those kinds of things. So I thought this morning it would be good to share just a little bit about attitude and what you think is possible and those sorts of things. So we've got a couple of quotes here. And one of those is, make a game of finding something positive in every situation. 95% of your emotions are determined by how you interpret things to yourself. Would you agree with that? Yeah, so would you agree with that? Yeah, so it's one of those things. Josh, you would agree with that? So have you ever found yourself in a situation where you have something negative that happens, but you've got to try to find a positive in the situation? Yeah,
Tell me about
that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So have you ever heard the expression, you either win or you learn, or some version thereof?
Lessons, not losses.
Lessons, not losses. That's a good one. And so those are one of the things that you can keep in mind as far as your attitude and the possibility of thinking. And it can be tough sometimes. It can be tough sometimes to find a positive in a negative situation. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had something that didn't work the way you planned, but you had to figure out how to salvage the positives out of it?
A lot of times.
Yeah. Do you have an example? Something you can think of?
One on the top of my head right now.
Yeah, just anything. Ed, this morning you had
I was say this morning.
yeah. The negative situation is you weren't paying very good attention. You'd forgotten your belt, but the positive is somebody that you didn't even know gave you a boop, boop, a reminder. Yeah.
Thankful for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, a couple of other things about attitude and possibility of thinking and rebirth and renewal. Optimism is the one quality more associated with success and happiness than any other. Do you feel like you're an optimistic person? Do you feel like things are always going to be looking a little bit better than not?
Pretty much, yeah.
Optimism, would you consider yourself to be an optimistic person, Ed?
Not really.
Not really? You kind of think things are not going to work out and you're surprised when they do?
I'm not really surprised when they do, but I don't know. I guess I don't know, it fluctuates. I'm bipolar.
Okay, so there you go. So sometimes it's going to be a struggle as to whether you see things working out, or if things are not working out, it's hard for you to see that positive at times.
Depends on what it is, because I'm also realistic as well.
Gotcha. Would you consider yourself an optimistic person? You're thinking things are going to work out more than not?
It's almost a curse that I have.
A curse. What do you mean?
Like I always
Overly optimistic?
not overly optimistic. Well, so the way I look at it is like this: I expect things to work out, but I also expect them not to work out if I don't have control over them.
So do you trust people?
No.
So that's expectation management, really.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's real or optimistic.
I think that's not. It's not the opposite of optimistic. I'm that same way. I always feel like things are going to work out exactly like they should. So I'm super optimistic from that standpoint. However, I'm realistic in the sense that I know that when you're dealing with things, they don't always work out at like you think they would. And so I'm kind of with you on that. I'm always looking for how things are going to work out, but they don't always. And then that's when you have to kind of deal with how you process how those things happen. And a lot of times, the story that you tell yourself is what's going to matter. So you have to also, along with that, tell yourself the truth about situations. If a situation doesn't work out, then why did it not work out? Is there anything that you could have done differently? Is there anything you could improve on? And so that is where you start learning those lessons immediately. Okay, dream big dreams. That's another big one for spring. Imagine that you have no limitations and then decide what's right before you decide what's possible. Your attitude is an expression of your values and beliefs and expectations. And the last one, if you did not care at all what anyone else thought about you, what would you do differently in your life? So if you truly did not care at all what anyone thought about you, would you do anything differently?
It'd be a lot easier to make some phone calls.
So dealing with rejection is tough, right? It's something that you have to overcome. If you didn't care what anybody thought about you, would you do anything differently? Or you may be like, I'm Ed Kilgore. I don't care anyway.
It's me, baby.
Right?
I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. There's a lot of grounding in that feeling. Josh, what about yourself? Do you ever feel like what's it?
Yeah, I'd do some things differently, I think, if I didn't care about what people thought.
Yeah, it's hard for me sometimes to even understand when I feel like I care about what people think. I don't know if that made sense or not, but a lot of times I'm like, I don't really care what people think. I'm going to do the very best that I can in every situation, and I really feel that way. But then I'm thinking to myself, well, then why do I even, take a bath? Why do I, get my clothes? Where?
I think we care so much not about what people we don't know what they think, but people we do know what they think.
That's very interesting. So you care.
I don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of consideration for the people that I don't know, but people that I do know, there's a lot of consideration.
Gotcha. Good morning, sir. Yes, we're live. We're just about done, though. So think about those things. Think about springtime. Think about rebirth, renewal. Think about learning all the lessons that you can learn when things don't go exactly like you have planned. And it is the first day of spring. Is it the first day or was it yesterday?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Weatherman spring.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to say today is the first day of spring. We're going to declare that to be the first day of spring. We got more light. We got more golf coming. So, Van, on this first day of spring, take us out of here.